Fighter 6.
So yeah, Capcom did send us codes for Street Fighter 6. Thank you, Capcom.
We have been playing Street Fighter 6.
We got them like 2 days after Zelda came out, so it was at times a struggle to pull ourselves away. But we have been playing Street Fighter 6. Yes. Yeah. This was very high on our list, so it's been exciting to play that. In addition to Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I've been doing a little double dip here.
Yeah,
it's great because now that I'm like sort of like deeper into Zelda, I feel like it's okay to like
take a short
do something
break.
else. And this game is perfect because it does lend itself to sort of like more
completely different,
but also more like one-off gameplay,
quicker sessions.
Yeah, exactly. So you and I've been both playing. I've been playing the World Tour mode pretty exclusively.
Okay.
Since again I'm bad at these games, so yeah, we went to a preview event where we got to see quite a bit of World Tour mode. So I've been doing a lot, like sort of poking around. I made my character. It's not an abomination.
What is it?
It's just,
what kind of freak of nature is this?
It's not. It's a normal girl.
Okay, but is it based on anything, or is it you?
No, it's not me.
Oh.
I like cool hair colors, so I gave her a very cool like rainbow hairdo.
Well, what's her name?
Chris.
So it is you.
No, it's not. It's not me.
Is it short?
It's always Chris.
Is this person short?
I mean, it's normal.
Did you take the slider and go all the way to the bottom?
I kind of did, actually.
So it's you.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Did you make an abomination this time?
No, so I told you what I was going to do.
Oh, that's right. You made... Okay,
So the game is set in Metro City, which is where Final Fight is from. So I made Cody from Final Fight.
That's cool.
It's a pretty generic, like, white guy with blonde hair.
So's you.
But I don't have blonde hair.
You don't have blonde hair.
I will say that character creator is extremely
so
deep to the point where, like, there's so many knobs and things to fiddle with. Like, it's like, I'm just trying to make, like, a normal, like, kind of generic-looking face. Like, and even that was, like, kind of hard to get.
Yeah. It is, like, you can spend a long time in the character creation
Right. So I kind of didn't, like, sweat it too much because you can change it later. So I was like, I just want to get going. And if it's bugging me, I can change it later.
Yeah.
But I'm like 85% of the way there.
That's good.
85% happy with it. So I may just keep it.
Yeah. I like it. That's a good idea. Yeah. You get a lot of Final Fight references when you're in the city, which is awesome. I've been just playing through like the main sort of World Tour stuff.
Yeah.
I got past where we stopped at the preview event, so I'm like, oh, I can finally see what happens next, which is fun. But I continue to be very impressed by the World Tour mode because it is a really fun single player mode. And like, it's cool that it has more of like an RPG feel to it. So, I really like that.
I've played a couple hours of it. I don't think I would say that it surpasses the Mortal Kombat single player modes in my mind, but it is a very different thing. Where it is like more RPG-ish in an open world. Something I didn't realize, and I don't know if you've gotten this far yet, is there are other locations that you go to.
Right.
Beyond Metro City. The other one that I have gone to though was not a big, it was kind of an enclosed space where you have a specific encounter with another Street Fighter character.
Oh, cool.
So, and once you get to that point, there's another menu that opens up with all these locations, and I'm curious, are these going to be bigger locations, like a combination? Like what, I don't know what their intention is with those, so I guess I'll find out.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I did notice that map was opening up a little bit more as I was playing, so I haven't gone to another location yet. I'm still in Metro City, but I'm curious to see like what else this mode entails.
One other thing that so the reviews hit, and one other thing I've been seeing in the reviews about this mode, which people have been commenting on who probably played more than I have, is once you get a little bit deeper into it, some of the encounters, like the boss encounters, can get pretty hard.
Oh, good. Okay.
Where they basically just have like a really long life bar.
So you have to like tick away at it, basically?
Right, so I don't know if that implies like that you need to grind more because you can level up and get stronger that way. Because
or like you can learn more moves.
Right, you can get more moves.
From the other Street Fighter characters.
I did have a fight, like a boss fight like that, where I initially was like, oh, I'm not supposed to win this because I was doing so little. But then it was like, no, you actually do need to win this fight.
Okay.
And I did, but it was like a very long fight.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's a great addition. I mean, this game just has a lot of stuff in it that all seems like really high quality. So that's great. Yeah. I have also gone into just kind of the main modes because I got to get my E-Honda back up to speed.
That's right. You got to get it like back to online fighting shape.
Yeah, so one thing I will give a plug to is like they do have these like character specific guides.
Yeah, the guides are really good.
Which are really nice, and they'll give you like a dozen, like again, very specific to the character, and they have different guides per character. Like tips on, what to do in certain situations or when certain moves are more or less useful or things you might not know about those characters. So I've always been, mostly an E-Honda main, and I learned a lot of new stuff there. So I think even if you're starting out or if you're more experienced, I think those are really worth a look once you know what character you want to check out.
And you still have the other button or the other like control schemes.
Oh, the more easy ones.
Yeah, you have.
Is that what were they called? Modern?
I'm doing modern controls.
And say again how those work?
So modern controls, it's like you still have to do some button combinations, but they've like made those a little bit more accessible.
Yeah.
So there is another one that's like casual, I believe, and that one is just like you hit a button.
Super simplified.
You do like all the combos, and it looks really cool.
Right.
So if you want to just look really cool for a little bit, you can totally use that too.
Okay.
But modern is like, instead of like 8 buttons that you have to press, you press like 3.
Yeah.
And there's some specials that you can do with like less button combos,
right?
Which just makes it a little bit more accessible for you. I think that's a good stepping stone though. So like, let's say you master that,
totally.
and then you can like try looking at those guides or doing some of those tutorials to get like the more classic controls down.
Between that and the different handicaps, you probably could match up like very experienced and very novice players.
I think I'm curious about how that's going to look, how that's going to work, but hopefully that's the case, because I think that's the really intimidating part about it, is that you feel like you can't hang with anybody else if you're not like an expert, but I feel like this game gives you a lot of ways to play with other, like people of all skill levels. So that's really cool.
Was there any character, you said you haven't really done much outside of World Tour, but we are eventually going to have some online fights.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any characters that you are interested in?
I do like that ballerina character. What's her name? Manon?
Manon?
Yeah.
Manon? I don't know. She's French.
Manon?
I don't know how exactly you say it.
She's a new character, I think, that they've added, and I kind of like her. So I'm going to try to just learn more about that character.
I like her too. Wink.
Oh, hey.
This game is
Bodhi
like
contender.
almost a lock for Bodhi.
Yeah, body.
Everybody in this game is just too good looking.
Too good looking.
It's distracting.
Yeah, it is very distracting.
Come on, Capcom.
You know who I also really like in this game? Blanca.
Yeah.
Blanca with his little booty shake is very, very cute. And like really fun. He like bites you, and the electricity is great.
Move.
Classic. Yeah. So I do like a good Blanca.
Yeah. I did check out the arcade mode, which is sort of like the story mode for each character.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I did that.
That one's fun too.
I did that for E-Honda. Like that is a very like quick and breezy. You can choose how long it is, but the default I think was just 5 stages.
Oh, nice. That's
and
easy.
For me, one of the stages was just like break the truck.
You have
kind
to
of
break
like
the truck.
mid-round break the car things. But all this, like the story stuff was fun. It was, it had really nice visuals with it. Once you do that, you unlock like other like pieces of art and stuff. So
yeah, I mean, this game is beautiful.
Yeah,
like, it looks so great.
Like in this day and age, like arcade mode like doesn't have a ton of value. So I think it's fine for what it is.
Yeah,
and it's fun if you like those characters and you want to see their
little backstory. Yeah, some of the new characters, I'm like, what? Who are you?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so you can see like their origin story a bit. Yeah.
Another feature they have, which I checked out and immediately turned off because I didn't like it. They have this kind of like real time like esports commentary thing where again we're not super like plugged into this, but I think these people are pretty well known who did the commentary. And they will comment on your match as it happens, but I just didn't like it.
That seems like it'd be intimidating.
I mean, if you want to like really like emulate being in like an esports environment, like that could be fun. But
maybe if you're like training for like Evo or something.
It just didn't. It didn't strike me as being super it seemed a little too generic what they were saying. Versus,
I guess they have to because it would have to work for like whatever someone's doing.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing this thing.
But honestly, even if it was super specific, I'd still probably turn it off.
Yeah,
it's just not my thing.
It seems like it would be very intimidating.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say, and I hadn't really grasped this until we got the full game, but there is this whole other gauge in the game.
That's right. Yeah.
That now that I've gone through all these proper tutorials, I have a much better grasp on what it is. And it's really useful, and I think is a big differentiator between this and other Street Fighter games. So you can use it in a lot of different ways, but the main way I've been using it is just basically like an alternate, more powered up version of your special attacks.
Right.
And the way you do it is like, so let's say you're doing like a Hadouken, like you do that, you do the motion, you press one punch button. For the alternate version, you do the motion, you press any combination of 2 punch buttons, and you kind of like your guy will like light up and flash, and he'll do something different. So, but it's more powerful, and it often has some other sort of characteristic. So the E Honda like sumo torpedo thing.
Yeah.
The special version of that is it can go through projectiles.
Oh, cool.
Because that had always been the counter to that. If somebody was just spamming that, it's like, well, I'm going to fireball you, and you're going to stop doing that.
Right.
So your gauge will decrease, and if you get to 0, you're in a weakened state for a little bit, so you can't like abuse it.
Right.
And it also chips away like if you're blocking, and if you attack, it'll slowly fill up. So managing that bar is a really important
That's interesting. Yeah.
mechanic.
It's interesting how they like sort of try to balance it out so that it's not
Right.
gonna allow you to like spam stuff or be overpowered or something like that.
Yeah, and there's also like a lot of other more advanced stuff using that honestly I'm not completely clued in on yet, that I need to spend a bit more time figuring out. The good thing is that a bunch of the matches that I played before I had done those tutorials and I really wasn't using it went fine. So I wouldn't say like if you haven't mastered this new mechanic, you're just going to be toast. But it adds a lot of depth to the game that I noticed. Yeah. So yeah,
it's crazy how they can take such classic gameplay and still add things that doesn't make it feel like it is out of place.
That's the thing. Yeah,
it's kind of impressive, honestly.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighting games that just have so much depth, and you have to use all that depth. And if you're not, you cannot play. You cannot succeed.
Yeah,
like somehow, like they have found a way to make it like truly,
the range of it
truly
is so
accessible,
good.
no matter how much.
Yeah,
how many hours you want
really
to put into it.
Yeah.